Alrighty, it's action time. The moment to own it and all that. The final day, basically. The penultimate day that's really the final day. Basically, the day 12 is such a, hey, talk to everybody and, you know, give them the medicine if you have it and whatnot. Speaking of which, we gotta work on that. Also, I gotta remember how to make it, because I only made it once. Blah. I think you just make a corpse gruel out of using that blood. I think you do just take that blood and you mix it with the twire mixture, right? I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll save first so I don't really fuck it up. I don't remember what I was doing. I remember what happened yesterday. Yesterday was the fucking triathlon where I had to go to 17 different locations. Well, mostly the same locations repeating in really bizarre orders. But I don't remember I actually don't know where I am in town or why when I logged out. But I do remember, I guess, it was about to become midnight, so I was like, time to stop for the night and leave this for future me. So 1 minute to go till midnight. I'm probably not going to sleep. Not that I need that much because I have all that coffee and I have so many ingredients. It's time to spend my entire backlog of resources in one day potentially, because otherwise, who cares, right? So, haha. Where am I? I'm here. Alright, so I should head to the theater first, just to get that cutscene out of the way. Not really well, south's the best way to go because it's a straight line. Then I'll head to the base to make the panaceas, and we'll meet up with any characters I can find along the way. Haha.
The day is over. Your timely efforts allowed your supporters to remain unharmed. A new mime performance is being rehearsed at the theater.
Wait for the follow-up, right? No? Oh right, the follow-up stuff is at 7. Why did I do that? I should have taken all my stuff before I walked outside. Drugs, rations. Very important not to mix up coffee with my other pills. Kind of a big deal. I don't have that many bandages though. It's not really exactly amazing right now. Hi, creepy fetus thing. The date, all right, in addition to everything else, oh god. The plague locations have changed, and I need to visit Notkin, but that's on the way to my base. Probably talk to Capella while I go by, just in case she has something for me, because she's literally on the path to the theater. Let's read the letter. This is... I think I've done this one before, right? So she finally sent me a letter. That's crazy. That was my busiest, most wacky, insane day ever, and I didn't get a single letter until the midnight passed, which is the end of the day letter. A letter from Aglaya Lilich. More on the forthcoming sacrifice. I am now fully convinced that I was right. The town is your Udur. The murderous tower is your sacrifice. I've been thinking a lot, and it cannot be a coincidence that so many threads of fate were connected to a single knot. You cannot untie this knot, it must be cut. The puzzle has only one possible solution. The town does not know what is killing it. It thinks it fell victim to some distorted contingency. It is afraid. Its corpulent body is shivering. The town dreams of itself 7 years later. Protect it. Allow it to live. Oh boy. The tone of this game is the strangest. Its way of expressing itself. I don't know what to call it. For the longest time it was like, oh, this whole game's metaphorical, the whole game's non-literal. Everything people say is a metaphor for something else, and they're just not speaking in literal terms. But then you get more time with the game and you realize, oh shit, all the things that people said that were supposed to be non-literal, no, they're all literal. Everything that everyone ever has been saying was actually totally real, and that none of it was a metaphor. Those things that they say exist or absolutely exist exactly as they described, which is even more baffling than trying to interpret what they say as metaphor. So that gets really confusing. Had space for that, right? And then the game pulls the fucking carpet out from you again, because once you've accepted that everything that people say is literal, and there really is like a polyhedron stabbing into the back of the living mountain, causing the poison and all these other kind of weird crazy things, then it pulls the curtain out from, the rug out from under you again, and was like, by the way, this entire game was never real, it was all a game for children. I'm like, what the fuck? I just accepted that the things that people say are real. Ah.
The children no longer remember me.
There is one final thing left to be done, the saddest and most essential. I cannot escape it, and happiness demands self-abnegation, does it not? You need me, Victoria, don't you? Speak up. Maria is coming into power. The polyhedron will cease to be the Republic of Children soon. The toy will finally go back to its original purpose, and young Casper feels it. He's hesitating. I want to extend a friendly hand to him, and I need a middleman for that. What? Tell him that I propose an alliance in 10 years, and he knows full well that this is how long it will take for a chapel to be built. He will have my hand. I will become his wife, and we will end the age-long conflict of our families. Whoa. You are on good terms with the Bachelor, are you not? He fawns upon you a lot, anyway. The Utopians respect him. He knows how to get there. Are you absolutely committed to doing this? Yes. Okay, I'll do as you say. The town will change so much in 10 years' time.
Only to be found someplace new in the morning.
I hope it changes for the better. Well, shit. That's a side quest. Okay. Pain. Yeah, Khan is in there. He's one of my bound. Which is what's so weird about it. Khan is one of my bound, but I've never spoken to him. But have I spoken to him? No, because I've never been inside the polyhedron, right? I've only climbed it once. Wait, have I climbed it once? When I checked for the blood, it was at the bottom of the polyhedron. Have I ever climbed the polyhedron as this character? I can't remember now. But I don't think I've spoken to Khan ever, even though he's one of my bound, because he's self-isolated. You running from? Is it the bad man? Does he see me? He does not see me. Good. Good news. Oh, all the criminals are faster than me. Come here. I'm trying to save her life. Here. You're okay now. Ah! Bad. 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 Oh, interesting strategy had to turn around the opposite direction. She really should have known the city better. I get it, she didn't want to go into the plague zone, makes sense. She really should have known where she was headed though, or at least seen it from a distance and not continued in that direction. Pro tip from hindsight. Bam, blap, blap.
The law of gravity is tragically incompatible with dream catching. Illusions have to be let go of in good time.
There is a tricky way to save the specular tower, but there will be casualties. What do you say?
The law demands that we remain silent, as if there's nothing to save but this ridiculous tower.
There is another tricky way. It allows for saving the town of men, but it also requires a sacrifice to be made. What do you say?
The law is impartial. The choice is yours.
Is there an alternative way to subvert your ridiculously unfair law?
We're just doing our job. Why all the fuss? You've got time. Live some more.
good old-fashioned, we're just doing our job. The slogan of all human atrocities.
Everything worked out just fine. Clara has made a deal with the commander. The cannons will be kept at bay as long as we agree to turn the town into an altar.
I'm looking forward to that, figuring out what the hell Clara and the commander do with each other. She just keeps showing up in the background. I'm like, what are you up to? I'm wondering if I'll get direct answers or not, though. They want me to head to the Bachelor. I could do that now. I can make my way down to my base later, potentially. And Notkin. I'm pretty close to the Bachelor as it is. Yeah, I'm interested in whatever the hell's going on with this relationship between Clara and the Brick. Because it's so alien. I have no idea what's happening in that. Come on, I'm already not... I wish they didn't use the knife when you were basically in melee range. I mean, I wish they didn't throw their knife when they were basically in melee range. If they were really smart, they would just only throw knives, because it's hilariously more dangerous than their actual melee attacks. Like, it not only has more range and is harder to avoid, and like it has more range, it's harder to avoid, and in addition to that, it's got the fuck. Bridges are a bad place to see those. But on top of everything else, it's just that I should deal with my immunity. Shit. It's just that it's more damaging than normal attacks on top of everything else. Like, it's already bad enough without the other shit, but it happens to also be more damaging than their melee attacks, making it extra bullshit. Man, this is gonna feel weird. I'm doing a quest at 1 o'clock in the morning. Either they're going to, like, pummel me with quests today, or I'm gonna be really ahead of schedule. Which kind of just makes things easier. If I finish all the quests today early, then that just means that I can go to sleep until day 12. I mean, there's no reason to gather resources anymore if I already have everything. Because unfortunately, no amount of additional resource gathering will give me a panacea. I'm confined to however many blood samples that make panaceas that the game's quest deem I'm worthy of, and I'm doing all of those quests. Bandages on my legs? Nope. And my arms from you. This guy's super dead. Could go get the body, but it's kind of a trip. Did you live through the whole campaign? You totally did.
My lacquer is crap.
Really weird. It's really weird that you're alive. That's one thing, is I want to see the Clara and Brick's relationship and what that means, but at the same time, like, that's... One, it's the end of the campaign. It's like 3 whole days, or 2... I think it's 2 or 3 whole days of the entire campaign, so it's a little minor. But also, I have to beat Clara's campaign to get there, because it's at the end of it. And also, for all I know, the campaign will just change mysteriously, because the Bachelor and the Haruspex are totally different in a lot of ways between the 2 campaigns I've played so far.
What does Maria Kaina say? She seems to be the one in charge now.
I got it, Artemy. I've cracked your puzzle. It does indeed have to do with the most high-level mysticism. I'm listening. Your order is Simon, or rather not exactly Simon, a structure, an architectural complex. So you see, the town aspect of the sigil is preserved. It's actually even emphasized. Now imagine the structure taking in Simon's soul to become alive. How can it be? I don't understand. I know, it's almost beyond comprehension, a phenomenon that can have both a scientific and mystical interpretation. I can't explain or prove it here and now. Aglaya's got the blueprints, but it's true. Trust me. A structure absorbs a soul and comes to life. Absorbs a soul? How exactly? Well, it hasn't happened yet, but the Canes guarantee they can do it. It's an interdisciplinary effort that has to do with both optics and human psyche, and a certain breakthrough. So a structure becomes a vessel for a soul, like a body? Precisely. Personally, I am overwhelmed and humbled. I could never have imagined something like this could be possible, a chimera, made of the living and the non-living. I am absolutely positive, Artemy, that this is your Udur. I'll never know how to pronounce that word, it'll never sound right. And also, I kind of wish they would use a word that made more sense to me. Are you aware that Simon was one of Isidor's last patients? I am. Perhaps you're right, Oynon.
Yes.
I hope I've managed to convince you. But who is my sacrifice, then? I don't know. I think it's all superstition anyway. You think it's all superstition anyway, then why are you even talking to me about all this? What? Without a sacrifice, they won't give me the blood that the serum requires. I must choose the right one. Why don't you ask openly? Let the foreman tell you what he wants from you. He wants me to guess. Well, intimidate him, then. I haven't seen the foreman. I don't know what type of person he is, but I think that a solid threat can convince anybody. Intimidate him. How? Kane gave me a hint today. Seems like the foreman had something to do with your father's demise. Big Vlad is also in on it. Didn't he tell you? Well, Big Vlad's dead. That's news. He didn't, but he will. If he killed my father and he's obstructing my ability to save this town, why can't... maybe I can make him the sacrifice?
My head is spinning.
I need to get inside the tower, Oynon. Tell me how to do that. Ah. You've decided to defend the jewel with your life, haven't you? A worthy choice. It makes me happy to see you've come to it. I have indeed. In that case, just say fortified to the Doghead guards. It's a password. Maria's told it to me. Okay. By the way, seems like Maria has fallen out of favor with the little brothers. So if the password doesn't help, just tell them I'm planning to save the polyhedron and I'm counting on you to help me with this. So definitely let you in. Okay. I just passively said okay a lot.
What does Maria Kaina say? She's...
Farewell. Alright, time to climb the polyhedron then. Look at these quests being all nice and local. Little short trips from place to place. Not really bothering with looting anything. I'll loot bodies. They're a weird treasure trove of miscellaneous objects, and who knows, maybe one of them will have a goddamn schmatter in it. You never know. Pretty sure I'm manipulating the Bachelor here. I don't think I have chosen to... I do not think that I've chosen to defend the polyhedron with my life, but I'll say that I have. It'll get me forward in progress. I have shit I've got to do. Please don't shoot me! Oh my fucking god. Ah. Well, if I rip off the bandit and deal with being infected again, then, it's gonna make today pretty simple to get through, if I don't care about any plague clouds, I guess. I mean, I'll still try to avoid them. Jesus, that was a double dose of bad. You definitely missed the viewfinder the Bachelor had. Looks the same for me. That it wasn't supposed to look different for everybody who looks at it. It was the Bachelor that saw it as a bunch of blueprints and writing, paper, but it seems like the Haruspex does too. Maybe that's their nature as doctors. What do you want, Burke? Fortified. Alright, you may come in, but only to see the leader, no sidetracking. How do you people manage to not fall down from here? That was a really weird transition screen. That looked like the loading screen didn't pop up in time.
Yeah.
Who are you? My name is Artemy Burke. Why have you come? Are you here on my sister's behalf? No. On Capella's. The old Gimsky girl? Curious. I had a feeling she might make a move. Sooner or later our paths had to cross. So what is she up to? Also, by the way, why did I get infected? I just bumped up my immunity to maximum. Why did one cloud infect me? Doesn't that defeat the purpose of the huge immunity resistance? Oh well. He wants to strike an alliance with you. Children's alliances are not worth a dime. Is she willing to become my wife in 5 years? To submit to me? She is. In 10 years, though. They say traces of blood were found by the polyhedron. My dogheads claim they belong to the soldiers' victims, but I think they're lying. Tell me the truth. Are there really soldiers down below? I mean, there are soldiers down below, but I don't think that's what he means. No, it was the earth bleeding, not people. Indeed. I've been told this has happened before. The ground bleeds by the stem, as if the polyhedron is a cork stuck in a tube. What should I tell Capella? Tell the old Gimski girl that I shall come. Let it be so. The proud Capella made the first move, and so she will have my support. She offers to strike an alliance, and we accept her offer. You have my word. Can you tell me what's going on? Capella will do better. As to why I've agreed, I won't tell you. The Kane's business is not the termites' business. I'd love to teach you good manners. Go ahead and try. Later. Artemy, let's not rile people up. That's a weird camera angle. I thought I went into the polyhedron instead of out of it for a second there, like deeper in. Because I was like, where am I? Visually, it's a really distinct, cool structure. I'm actually wearing my Pathologic shirt right now. It's odd that they give the option of one of the floating structures from elsewhere in the game as a shirt design, but they don't have a shirt of the polyhedron, of all things, which is so core to the story that it's the Bachelor's big core thing to defend. And it's obviously one of the more distinct and iconic designs in the game. The polyhedron and the plague doctor design and the tragedian and worm designs and so on are really distinct things. Hello, creepy blood. But instead they went to with the floating, like the impossible buildings, the ones that are just like a staircase and some walls and kind of float like impossibly, and they called the shirt Stairway to Heaven. Then they have like one that's just like a clock, which is weird. Like, I get that it's a reference to the fact that you're fighting against time in this game, but it's just kind of like a really generic shirt that doesn't really scream pathologic in any way. And then the other shirt is 3 bulls that are different shades of brownish tan, like 3 bulls' heads. And it's like, that's not a bad piece of art for a shirt design. But once again, it doesn't really scream pathologic. It's just like, you look like somebody who's just wearing generic bull shirts. They sent me back to Capella, so I figure I'm just gonna go right back to Capella. Because I can pivot directly from Capella down to Notkin and my base. There's not much reason to go there now. It just... That's weird how transitioning zones made the gunshot sound go away. That... How strange that transition sounded makes me wonder whether the gunshot sound is, like, pretend somehow? That'd be interesting to know, if the gunshot sound is, like... What if it's baked into the soundtrack? Like, what if the soundtrack of the game, just layers in the gunshots when you're in gunshot-heavy areas, even if there's not any actual gunshots happening? It was just a distinct cutoff. Sorry, if I sound spacey right now, it's because I saw I saw my recording software kind of stop moving for a moment there. I'm probably gonna go check it in a second to see if something went wrong, because that makes me paranoid.
Aglaia announced that Clara was cursed and banished her. Serves her well. Aglaia was in the right.
The town will change so much in 10 years' time. You have Khan's consent. It didn't take him long. That means he will leave the tower tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, and so will his minions. You know how to make a lot of panacea already, don't you? You can count on me. Allow me to thank you. You will assume authority over the kin soon. If everything goes well, and I assume authority over the town, we will rule together, you and I. Cherish my gift. Let it bring the soft memories back to life. The memories of the little girl that I used to be. Thank you. It all ends tomorrow. A single day can change a lot. I can sense almost nothing now. Are my fosterlings fine? Can the mutineers kill the Inquisitor? If Aglaia Lilich falls, even destroyed by petty scheming, we won't be able to protect the town. Don't worry about a thing. I mean, definitely worry about things. Don't worry about a thing is terrible advice. Any follow-up?
Yes?
Nope. And it's only 3 o'clock in the morning and I just finished a quest, I think. Yep. So the matchmaking was a success. Capella has moved the final figure on the board. A sad move. She's clearly trying to pick the lesser of two evils. It's strange how calm and collected the lad was, as if he always knew what was going to happen. And we back. Back, and I wasn't crazy. I can confirm I wasn't crazy. It may or may not be an actual problem. I don't know, it was weird. There was just a weird moment where the screen just froze, and it's in the recording. And I'm like, what? Why'd you do that? And then I scanned around in the video, and I couldn't find any more moments where it did that, and I don't know why I did that. But maybe it happened more. I didn't watch the entire 30-minute recording in real time or whatever, how long it was already, but I was alarmed that it just did that out of nowhere. It's not supposed to do that. So now I'm sitting here like looking over at it in a paranoid fashion periodically to see if it's gonna happen again. You guys really heavily militarized this checkpoint. I wonder if it's an indictment on the fact that there's like a ghettoized community here of like what's seen as the lowlifes and the less desirables, so they create a fence to choke them all in and then they heavily guard whatever entrances there are, like almost excessively. Or if it's just a fact that this area is more compact, so the same number of guards are just sort of distributed in such a way. Whereas they have like a much more open environment they have to spread out through in other environments because they aren't so easily sectioned off by gates. And so it's harder to guard as opposed to here where it's just easy. I don't know. Hey Notkin, map please.
Khan is at odds with his sister. Rumor has it he's joined our lot with this whole army. What a twist.
Did you just pronounce Khan? Khan? Is that how you pronounced it? What does the K even mean in that situation then? Is this like a Russian coincidence where it's like a different word that happens to be spelled exactly the same as Khan, but it's pronounced super differently? Is the Khan that I'm familiar with Russian in origin? I'm trying to think. There's Genghis Khan is the first thing that comes to mind, and that's definitely not Russian. Because the king word that comes to mind for Russian would be Tsar or something applicable. I think Tsar is maybe does Tsar mean king, or is it more of like an expert or whatever, localized leader maybe? Has the bull from yesterday really broken free? Thank you. Where is he now? We'd like to bring him here. I don't know, is it gone? I thought it was your handiwork. Sorry, I guess. It's just that I was counting on you. What happened? The girls have reported that there's no longer a bull in the bone steak lot. I thought he was taken out to stake. Was he alive? I'm so worried. So, You had nothing to do with it at all? No, nothing at all. Well, shit.
I see.
Map. What did it say there? That might have been new in dialogue, actually. There's nothing to... I've come from the marked map. There's nothing to mark anymore. The infection's everywhere. The whole town is either infected or boarded off. Well, let's see what's infected and what's boarded off. Alright, we need money as usual. Donation to the Scout Care Fund. 1,500. That's a bargain. Deal. There's 2 districts that aren't infected or boarded off, but yeah, I get what you're talking about. It's pretty fucked. The map still tells me what's going on, though, technically.
The bull is gone.
Clara's looking for you. She seems worried. The bull is gone, he exclaims. Well, shit. Let's get to my base. I can make the panaceas out of the samples I have so far. And also make sure that I even know how. And it's also 3 a.m., which is... It's a weird feeling. The quest day. I have 2 quests already, and the normal period of the day where quests happen has not actually started yet. I have so much food. Holy crap. Come on, man. There's so many weird collisions. I wonder if that was in the original copy of the game or if it has something to do with being in 60 frames per second. Because some of that stuff happened with Andrew when we were playing Dark Souls. The remastered version was not out yet and had not been announced yet. And we were just playing Dark Souls on PC with HD mods, coincidentally, the same year the remaster would be announced and then released. And one of the things that happened was that, like, we would get stuck in geometry. He would, like, walk along a place, then weirdly slide the wrong way, or he would, like, weirdly get stuck on something, or he'd run into what seemed like invisible walls that I don't remember being there at all. And I played the game on PC before, but I played it in, I think I played it in 720-30. Like, I think I played it without mods, which is how you have to play that on PC. If you play it without mods, it's in 720-30, which is rough. But he was playing in 1080-60 and had all these weird bugs, and I wonder if this game being in 1080-60 leads to weird bugs too. I don't know. Really. Let's get rid of the garbage items. The miscellaneous ones, I just don't need to deal with those right now. How the fuck do I have 100 brown twire and 37 white whip? These are nonsensical quantities of thing. Like, what do I even do with those? That's black. Do I even have brown? I mean, bloody? There's some bloody. Wow. Yeah, even the bloody I have a lot of. We're gonna quick save real quick in case I mess up. But do I really just... I think I just do this, right? Mix in the shitty one with the blood, and a panacea comes out. Okay. Well, I have 3 more abattoir blood. Do panaceas stack? They don't, do they? Where's my panacea? Right there. Increases immunity. Why not? Max that shit out. Put away my sleeping drugs. Generic twirine. I can still trade that for bullets, so I'll take it with me. Okay. Oh, cool, they stack. I didn't think they stacked. I'm mixing up my menus here. There we go. Not great. 4 panaceas. I think I had another one in here. I should probably take them with me in case they come up for story reasons. The schmouter. Shit, yeah, the one I crafted in the past became a... The one I crafted in the past was used for a quest. I only have 4 panaceas and 1 schmouter. Fuck. I don't like that. I'm running low on these, the 64 twos. That's not a recipe, that's oh, Capella's necklace. There was like a risk I might have sold that because I used to lose track of these things. I really wish these were in a menu somewhere. Why do they have to be inventory items? 64 to 3. Let's write the shit down. Yeah, as I probably should have all along. Cooperate with me, paper. Okay, black times 2. Brown times 1. Two black, 1 brown. It's very... There's a decent chance I won't need them. There's not that much day left, but it makes sense to stock up. And I have the supplies, so why not, right? God, I have so much of everything. I should position myself for double clicking. Oh god, that was a mistake. That was a mistake. I'm trying to set myself up to be able to just click faster, which I can do with both fingers. Is there really not a... It's like... Shift click, control click, right click, no. Yeah, you're just stuck very slowly doing this. Let's see, blood I'm done with. It scrolled to the side every time I clicked on one? Weird. Probably too much. Probably a little excessive. What's that? Dead gruel. Oh, that's the one that sucks. The useless one I made. Alright. We're going to produce some shit. We're good. Well, I don't know why mine's better than it's supposed to be. But it is.